Hello, good morning, good afternoon, evening, and good night. Um, I'm Alex Cole. I'm a junior in construction management. This is my frames and leadership assignment presentation. So let's just start us off here with what are frames? Um, Frames are essentially perspectives that people have in which we view the world and interpret events. It also helps us understand other people's behaviors and even assess our own. Um, while they do clarify some information and different views, they also lead to some. They can limit our views and kind of lead to some blind spots, which can lead to misunderstandings and conflict if we're not careful or mindful of those frames. Let's go into the different types of frames. In leadership, there are the different types of frames shape how we interpret and respond to different conflicts or just instances. For instance, a structural frame focuses on roles and goals, and it's kind of like a blueprint approach, very straightforward, while the human resource frame values individual needs and motivation, something which I kind of resonate with, since I do lead with green human resources. Meanwhile, the political frame is about navigating the different power dynamics within a group and resource allocation. While the symbolic frame centers on cultures and rituals, and um, it gives meaning to people's work for sure. Let's look at the benefits of frames. They provide leaders with clarity and focus. Um, they allow us to shift our approaches to different conflicts based on the needs of the people that you're working with or the organizations. For example, a structural frame might prioritize efficiency, while human resources frame might um, emphasize morale and support. Each has their own unique benefits that together um, would help form a more comprehensive team, um, a more successful team for sure, and leadership approach. Reframing is something we talked a lot during class, and it's the act of uh, consciously changing your perspective or changing what how you're approaching a situation. So reframing is a skill that helps leaders adapt their responses and resolve conflicts. For instance, a leader who reframes a challenging team conflict through a human resource lens might, rather than a political frame, might focus on understanding team motivations rather than just the power dynamics of the team. So for myself, personal leadership, understanding my own dominant frame, I find that I am lead with green. I value empathy a lot, and it's shown me some great strengths and challenges definitely throughout my life. Um, I see that I'm able to connect with others and communicate very supportively, but sometimes I overlook the structural needs and the efficiency that others may notice with my work. A personal story I'll share that highlighted the power of frames and leadership are when I worked for a home builder this last summer. One of my great responsibilities was running homeowner meetings, which would be all the way throughout the process of the build of the home. And these meetings were challenging because each homeowner came with their own set of expectations and concerns and emotions. And I found myself reading the room a lot, um, trying to figure out what the homeowners needed and how they were feeling throughout the process. For example, I used human resources frames to focus on empathy and show my understanding for their worries when they were frustrated or anxious. Um, and I would communicate with reassurance and focus on their needs at that time with whatever problem they were facing. But also, if they focused on the process and timeline, stuff like that, I would switch to a more structural frame, providing details about the timeline, about the next steps, the roles. And sometimes a political approach was necessary to manage the differing interests or address conflicts within those meetings. This experience taught me a lot about adjusting my frames on the fly, and how essential it is to leadership because a lot of those meetings could have gone poorly if I didn't adjust, even if I stayed um, very green while others were looking for timelines and dates. So it was just really essential, and it helped me deliver the information they needed in a way that they could understand and accept. Let's look at conflicting frames. Leadership often requires balancing of these conflicting frames. For example, a leader might need to um, kind of shift structural and control of a structural frame with the empathy and support of a human resources frame. Framing helps leaders integrate these perspectives, fostering decisions that respect the people within their group and whoever they're working with and their goals. So, key frames that I see in the world today. Um, For me, the most critical frame in leadership is the symbolic frame, building a strong, value-driven culture that can unify a team in a way that no other can. Um, I find that to be the most important to me. However, the political frame remains the most challenging for me, as navigating power dynamics feels less natural for me, and it's also just kind of uncomfortable for me to be in those situations, which helps me recognize an area for growth and helps me. It's going to help me turn into a greater leader someday when I can fully understand that power dynamic. Let's look at the power frames. In conclusion, the frames and reframing are powerful tools for both personal and organizational leadership. By recognizing and adapting these frames, we gain new perspectives that can enhance our relations and our decisions, as leaders, especially. Expanding our ability to reframe for situations makes us more adaptable, insightful, and overall just more effective as a leader. I just want to thank you for watching today and bearing with me here. Appreciate it.